Ever find yourself wishing you could just, talk your computer's command line, tell it to do complex stuff and actually have it understand? Imagine having AI power, not just tucked away in a browser tab, but right there in the terminal, where so much development work happens. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that. Google's new open source tool, Gemini CLI. Our mission here is to really unpack what this command line interface is all about, who's it actually for, and spoiler alert, it might be broader than you think, not just developers. And also, why is it making such waves, generating so much buzz in the tech world? We've pulled together insights from places like Reddit, Google's own announcements, expert takes, just trying to get to the heart of it. So first things first, what is Gemini CLI? It's this new open source command line tool from Google, right? Launched mid-2025. You could think of it as like an AI assistant that lives in your terminal, an agent maybe. It brings the power of Google's pretty advanced Gemini 2.5 Pro model straight to your command prompt. Google's actually calling it a fundamental upgrade to your command line experience. Big words.
Yeah, and it's easy to hear CLI, command line interface, and immediately think, okay, this is for coders, developers only. But what's really fascinating, looking at the discussions and user experiences, is how accessible they've tried to make it. I mean, sure, it's great at coding tasks, writing code, debugging, all that. That's kind of table stakes. But we're seeing Reddit users, including people who aren't developers, find really creative uses. Like someone used it, and I quote, to organize my documents folder in an efficient manner. They called it a game changer.
Okay, hold on. Organizing files, that sounds amazing. My desktop is, well, let's just say it could use some AI intervention. So you're saying someone like me who barely knows what a terminal is could actually pick this up. How easy are we talking?
Surprisingly easy, it seems. It runs natively right out of the box on Mac, Linux, and even Windows. The setup is apparently pretty easy. Basically, you need Node.js installed first. That's just a common bit of background software lots of apps use. Then it's just a simple command to install it or run it. And what you get is this interactive prompt, kind of like a chat window, but in your terminal. You can just type questions or commands in plain English.
Like, hey Gemini, sort out my messy downloads folder.
Pretty much. Or, summarize the key points from this long technical document. Things like that. It's designed for natural language interaction.
Okay, that accessibility part is interesting. But why the big fuss? Why is it making waves now?
Right, good question. I think a huge factor is the access it gives you to Google's top AI model, Gemini 2.5 Pro. And get this, it's incredibly generous with the free tier. If you just have a personal Google account, you get something like 60 requests per minute, up to 1,000 per day.
60 per minute, 1,000 a day, for free.
Exactly. The sources say most users won't reach these theoretical limits. It's a lot. And that puts serious pressure on competitors, doesn't it? Offering that kind of power for free.
Definitely. Free and powerful is a strong combo. So what does that power actually translate to? What can it do with that Pro model?
Well, connecting the dots, that model comes with a massive context window.
Yeah.
We're talking 1 million tokens.
1 million. Okay, what does that mean practically?
It means it can understand a lot of context. Think large code bases, really long documents, complex instructions you give it. It can hold more information in its memory while working. And beyond just understanding or suggesting code, it can act as an agentic AI.
Agentic, meaning?
Meaning it can actually do things.
Yeah.
It can run commands on your system to execute the tasks you ask it to, not just suggest the command, but run it for you.
Whoa. Okay, that sounds incredibly useful. But also maybe a little scary. Letting an AI run commands on my computer, especially if I'm not a super technical user.
That's a really important point, and they seem to have thought about it. There's a human-in-the-loop approval system. By default, it won't just go off and run potentially risky commands like deleting files or making big changes. It asks you first, hey, I'm about to do this, is that okay?
Okay, a confirmation step, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it also runs commands in a sandbox. Think of it like a safe, contained area so it can't accidentally mess up your wider system. Plus, the whole thing is open source. That means people can look at the code, contribute, find potential issues. It builds trust and transparency.
Right, the open source aspect is key for security too. Okay, so it's safer than it sounds initially. Now you mentioned coding, but also file organizing. What else? I think I saw something about generating media.
Yes, that's where it gets really versatile. It's not just text and code, it's multimodal. You could ask it to generate images or even videos. The example given was asking it to make a short video showing the story of a ginger cat's adventures.
Seriously, a video from the command line.
Apparently so. It also has Google Search built right in. So if you hit an error, you can ask it to search for solutions or fetch documentation without leaving the terminal. Now, for really long ongoing projects like maybe game development, someone mentioned on Reddit, the regular web version of Gemini might still be better for keeping that super long conversation history. But the CLI has this neat trick. You can put a special file called gemini.md in your project folder. And the CLI will use that file to understand the specific context of your project. It's like giving it a dedicated cheat sheet.
Ah, so it can maintain project-specific knowledge. That's clever.
Yeah, it creates a persistent knowledge base just for that project.
Okay, so wrapping this up, Google Gemini CLI sounds like a genuinely powerful tool. It's free, it's open source, brings that high-end Gemini 2.5 Pro AI right into the terminal. And crucially, it's not just for the hardcore developers. It seems like anyone looking to use AI for, well, all sorts of tasks, coding, yes, but also organizing, maybe even creative stuff like image generation could find value here.
Absolutely. It lowers the barrier to entry for powerful AI tools in a really practical environment.
Makes you think, doesn't it? So for everyone listening, putting aside coding for a moment, what's the first surprising non-coding task you would try to automate or simplify using an AI agent right there in your terminal? Something to ponder.